Good morning. It is January the 26th. It's a Monday, and we are currently going through the ice storm of Winterfern, I think that's called. We are currently in Winterfern, but right now it's actually quite sunny. It's just 22 degrees outside. It's super cold. I haven't vlogged in a while. I had two vlogs that I filmed, and I was going to edit and put up this month. One was pre-Thanksgiving vlog, and then one was post-Thanksgiving, trying to finish off all my last-minute assignments. My December was so busy. I was nannying my nephew, I was nannying my other nanny kid, I got a new job, I was doing all the prerequisites to start that job. And then, of course, on top of that, I was doing grad school assignments, so last-minute finals, papers, projects. And I filmed some of that, and then when I finally had a break, I just really took my break. I did not do any vlogging or work. It was so nice. It's really about 6 hours a week. And then my other job is about 20, give or take. So it's been a big adjustment, and I haven't vlogged, and I've been telling myself, I'm like, I need to edit those vlogs so I can start vlogging again. But I just decided I'm gonna go ahead and vlog, and if I get those up, great, and if I don't, oh well. But like I said, it's super cold. Yesterday it was really icy. I was scheduled to work, but I didn't because I didn't feel safe driving on the roads. But today it actually probably would have been okay, just because of how sunny it is and how dry the roads look, but it was freezing. My grandmother and her roommate, they have come down because they were going to lose power with where they live, so they're staying with us for a couple of days. Well, it's her house, so she stays wherever she wants. And then they brought my family dog, and he's over here resting. Don't mind my closet. And so it's been a pretty full house. So yeah, it's been a really busy 2 months since I last vlogged. And so I wanted to say, so I have got a lot of homework to do. It's been an adjustment trying to figure out when to do it and have the motivation to do it, because my new job has me working from 6:45 a.m. to 3:15. So I have plenty of time in the afternoon to do things, but most of the time I'm so tired. I don't want to do anything, so I've got to get myself up. Or those are the same days I have class. So it's kind of me getting home, taking a nap, then getting up and going to class. And then by the time I get home, it's 10:30, 11 p.m. and I don't feel like doing anything other than feeding myself and going to bed. And so I want to use the days I have off really wisely and doing homework. We'll see. And then of course I'm still getting my nanny kid, taking her to school, picking her up. That being said, here's the homework I have to do. So I'm taking 3 classes, really 4, but I'm taking group therapy, and that has a lab which will not start till March, till after spring break. And then I'm taking crisis, trauma, and grief counseling. And then I'm also taking orientation to professional practice, which is an 8-week class. So it will finish after spring break in March. So it'll be so I'll drop it off at some point. So yeah, and let me try to get some work done while I have this wonderful day off. I'm not scheduled to work on Mondays, and our meeting that we were supposed to have got moved because of the weather, and then my nanny kid's school got canceled, so I didn't have to pick her. I don't have to take her or pick her up. So like I said, I filmed these 2 vlogs, and I flipped back and forth on whether to put them up as I intended as their own separate vlogs, or just to put them in here, and I decided to put them in here. So here is the week before Thanksgiving. It was really busy. I was finishing up that project for social and cultural issues. I am also trying to get some B-roll that isn't me just typing. And also falafel, can't forget her, and some more B-roll that isn't me typing. And then I made these really lovely potatoes that were so yummy, and I used the leaf blower on the porch. It was such a beautiful, I just really like this shot because it's so pretty. Well, it's so pretty through the windows, is really. And then here I am finishing up these potatoes, and taking a walk outside in the beautiful fall autumn weather. Oh, I miss it. And I made this hot chocolate from a influencer on Instagram, and it was pretty good. I did use baking chocolate though. I don't recommend that. It was a little bit more bitter, but it wasn't bad. And I finished up this project, and then I also managed to film in public. I'm usually kind of self-conscious about that, and I also don't want to invade people's privacy, but I managed to film at the library, and that worked out pretty well. And then here you see on my birthday, I actually had my job interview, and then here I am getting coffee before the interview and prepping, and here I am afterwards. It went pretty well. I'm guessing it went pretty well because I got the job. That's where I'm working now. And then for my birthday, we went and saw A Christmas Carol. Those were tickets from my nanny family. I'm very thankful for that. Thank you though. Do a little spin. And then I went home and visited my mom. She kind of wanted me to come see her for my birthday, so I did. And you can see me visiting my family dog, Champ. And they live up at the lake in South Carolina. And here I am doing more homework, as always. More and more homework. And that's a wrap on the pre-Thanksgiving week of fun and homework. I came home on Saturday because I forgot that I told my sister that I would go to a comedy show with her. And then on Sunday or Monday, I left with my boyfriend to go to Florida for Thanksgiving, and on to the next week. So here's our second vlog that I intended to put up. We went to Florida for Thanksgiving and then came straight back, went straight into dog sitting the next day. I recommend giving yourself some more time. But look at these little guys. They're so cute. They made it very hard to also do work because I was dog sitting at my cousin's. He's a bachelor. He didn't have a lot of furniture. So there's not a lot of places for me to be that's they're not there trying to eat something. But then I also, that Monday, started straight away nannying my nephew for 3 weeks. And let me tell you, you would think with all the time that they spend napping, that you would be able to get a lot of work done, but that's not true. And then it was tough because I was trying to finish final projects and do an exam. And all while, maybe the nephew's asleep for 40 minutes and you're only focused for about 30 of them. And the other 10 minutes you're taking that time to go to the bathroom, go to the break, get coffee, do something else. And I was still driving around my nanny child. So that was a lot of stuff on my plate, but my time with my nephew was super precious and I love it. And a little bit more of the dogs for you guys. And then finally the dog sitting, so I just did nannying. And what else? Oh, and then here I am finishing my final assignment, my final project after I'd finished my psychopathology exam and taken my social and cultural issues exam, and I had this final addictions project working on this population, talking about addiction in Native American communities and different treatments that seem to be working for that population. And I'm finishing at the wire at night that Friday evening after working, and there I am finishing it, and I am done. So yes, those are my 2 vlogs. It was a really busy month and a half. Thanks for watching, and now back to the present day. I'm trying to Champ. He likes to bark at grandmother's boyfriend when he makes a move or sound, so he's in my room on my lap, so he does not bark or is less tempted to bark. Isn't that right? So hello, I have had a pretty productive day. I've gotten distracted more than I wanted to, so I deleted Instagram again. I go through phases where I delete it and then I'll download it and I'll have it for a day and then delete it again, or I'll download it and I'll have it for a week or more or a month, and then I realize how much time I'm really wasting and it becomes less and less satisfying. I don't know, sometimes it is. Sometimes the algorithm is good, sometimes the algorithm is depressing, and it's good to be informed and it's fun to know the trends, but at the same time it also can get in the way of my goals for the day. And sometimes it's just going to bed at a regular hour, especially since my job has me there at 6:45 a.m. in the morning to go to bed earlier. But yeah, I've had a pretty productive day. I finished my notes from the PowerPoint for orientation to professional practice. I finished my section of the PowerPoint for my group therapy project that we're meeting for tomorrow, and I can polish my notes tomorrow for that. And then I did a lot of reading for my crisis intervention class, and I took Champ on a couple of walks, and that was good. And it always takes a little bit more time because it's so cold. I'm putting on all my layers and getting him ready, and then I'm taking all my layers off and coming back inside. So tonight my uncle is coming over and we are going to all have dinner. He's bringing pizza and we're going to watch a documentary my cousin and her husband made with their new production company. So I'm very excited because the documentary, I believe, is about my grandma, and so she'll be watching it too. So that'll be exciting. Yeah. Okay, good morning again. It's Saturday. Last time I filmed was Sunday or Monday. Oh my goodness. I intended to film at least a little bit throughout the week. I intended to film like a little bit of me working, not at my site, but because privacy, of course. But I wanted a little bit of the day in the life of that, and then what I did on my day off in between. I'm not working this weekend, so I've been able to be off, but the filming just didn't happen. I was in a bit of a funk Wednesday and Thursday. I was not myself. This job is, I mean, so far it's fairly, I don't want to say easy, but it's not as tough as I thought it would be. It is just the schedule, just getting up at 5:30 in the morning to get to work at 6:45 and then be awake for class until class ends at 10:15, or doing homework, or trying to have some type of life, and then end up not being really participating in any of it. So like, what I mean by that is like, I'm too tired in class to really pay attention in class. I've got to try. I know I need to try. Some of this is just an effort question. And then of course, like Thursday, I was in a funk and all I wanted to do was sleep more. I took my nanny kid to school. I had a meeting at work in the middle of the day that I had to go in for that would lasted 2 hours and 40 minutes. That was crazy. But what I really wanted to do was just sleep. But I knew I needed to do homework. And so then I ended up doing neither and kind of scrolling. I even deleted Instagram. I scrolled other places. Friday was much better. I was able to talk to my boyfriend and work out a couple of things and get to sleep early Thursday night. And then work went fairly well Friday, and I knew I had today and tomorrow off. I also have Monday off, so that's nice to sleep. And I had a date with a boyfriend and slept in and did nothing. I have not worked on any homework today, but I do need to get stuff done. Additionally, it is snowing outside. It snowed this morning and now it's kind of starting to stick. So anyway, I do need to do homework, but I also signed up to go to the, what do you call it? My cohort tries to meet up once a month or every other month they try to meet up once a month or every other month to make connections, and they have one today at Mercer at my college. So it should be easy to get to and hopefully it won't be too long. But I want to, and every time I'm not able to go, like either I have something going on or I'm coming off of something that I need to rest before I do work or the next thing. So I really do want to go, but I also want to just be cozy. But I'm going to try to go. It's just snow right now.